You could be wife material and still not be his choice. Not because you aren't enough, but because he's not looking for a wife. He's looking for fun, chill, go with the flow, just nothing serious. So let him do that with someone else, but not you.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll take a look at a woman who gets upset at a man for saying she only goes on dates for a free meal. From another woman who refuses coffee dates, to one who says women should have at least 5 men on their list to be happy. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on our way to 150,000 subscribers, and with your support, we're going to hit that goal. Drop your experience or opinion about these situations in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get started.
My favorite incel weirdo comment is women only date for free food. It makes me laugh because I'm like, okay, let's say I go on 1 date a week and I go to dinner, which by the way, not every date I go on is a dinner date. But for the sake of argument, let's say I'm going on 1 dinner date a week. How am I feeding myself dinner the other 6 nights a week? Am I just not eating dinner until a man takes me out to eat? I just always laugh at the fact that they're like, you just want free dinner. Do you know how much time and energy and money I have to spend on hair and makeup and an outfit for a date? I am actively losing money by going to dinner with you, but I'm still going because I'm dating you to see if I'm interested. Not to mention, we're also putting our lives at risk because you don't know if that guy from Hinge is actually going to kill you. So no, we don't date for the free food. I can take myself to dinner, and I do feed myself every single day. It's amazing. It's like a miracle.
Oh, hell no!
That's why they say a liar needs to have a good memory. This woman said in a video, if I'm not mistaken, that she went on 50 dates in 3 months. Brothers, that's a lot of dates. If we go by the numbers, that's more than 1 date per week, based on what I understand about math. Of course, she doesn't like being invited out for coffee, because her intention isn't to get to know someone. It's to find content and have fun. Otherwise, how the hell do you explain going on 50 dates? When a woman is genuinely interested in a man, the type of date doesn't matter. Getting to know each other should be the goal. But clearly, that's not your goal, since you've posted a bunch of videos giving dating advice without showing any real intention, because no man ever stays with you. So what are you really after?
Having a roster as a woman will change your dating life. And if you don't believe me, hear me out. If you have a roster, then you are now in the power position. If you only have 1 guy on the table and he starts treating you really badly, you're going to deal with that low tier behavior because there's no other options on the table. But if you have a roster of 5 men, which is what I recommend, then when one starts to kind of act weird or distant, then you can just go on to another man. And the other benefit is that you don't have to pretend to be busy all the time, because if you have 5 guys on the table, you naturally just don't have enough energy to sink into one of them. So if one of them doesn't text you back, for example, you're not even going to notice. You're literally going to be with another guy who is texting you back, who is planning the date, who is treating you like a queen. This is why winning dating, you guys, it's about being smarter, not working harder. And the other benefit of this is you don't get as attached to each man because you have 5 on the table. You're not seeing yourself marrying one of them. You're not imagining wedding bells before you even had your 2nd date. And that's a good thing, you guys, because then you can sit back in a power position and allow men to show you who they are. And you know what? If he's a joker who's presented himself as a king, you just say goodbye to him. And then you move on with a guy who does know how to treat you right. The balance you want to achieve with men that makes them chase you like shark to blood is when they know you like them, but they don't know how much you like them. And when you have a roster, it's much easier to keep them in suspense. No longer do you have to play a game of trying not to text back too frequently or pretending you're not available on certain nights. Now you're actually not available on certain nights. Now you actually don't have a bunch of free time to be texting this guy every morning and night. The other thing with having a roster is you need to date a wide range of men. I know you all have a type. I know it's the 6'5" model with blue eyes that works in finance. I think those guys are really hot and sexy too, you guys. But maybe that guy isn't going to treat you like the queen you deserve to be. He might. I'm not saying he won't. But when you date a wide range of men, you're going to see maybe there's another kind of man that is a better fit for you. Not to call a bunch of people out here, but if you are continuing to date bad men, you might just be choosing the wrong men. And it's going to take dating a wider range of men to figure that out. And the last rule with this is no coffee or drink dates. Literally would sing this from the rooftop if I could, you guys. You only want to go on dates with men who offer dinner as a first date. These are men who are not serial daters. These are men who are actually going to be the masculine man for you that you deserve. They are provider energy. And I know a lot of you give me the feedback, you don't want to sink the amount of time into a dinner on a first date. That's okay. You can come back to the dinner request and say, oh, I prefer drinks. The important part is that he's offering dinner. Get a roster, you guys. As a woman, it will change your life. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to schedule a one-on-one with me via the link in my bio.
If there's a woman watching this content, what would you think of a man who gave the following advice? Date 5 women at once. If one doesn't reply, message another. If one is working, go see the other. If one won't take you out to dinner, another one will. According to this woman, that's actually good advice, and men should start doing the same. It's because of things like this that men are really starting to walk away from women. Just imagine the disappointment of going out with a woman, and by chance the date goes really well. You've had 2 or more dates, maybe something even happened, and then one day, you see her with one of her 4 other options. What do you think a man would feel or do in that situation? In my case, I moved on from her immediately. I always had a rule. Any woman who thinks I should compete with other men for her love isn't worth it. From my point of view, the man who stays in that situation is the one who truly loses.
To the girl that said that when you're dating, you have to treat it like you have $10,000 to give away instead of looking for $10,000, you're a genius. Love you. You're amazing. Best advice I've ever heard. So tonight I went out just to grab a little drinky drink before I went and did my grocery shopping and prep for the week. And I was surveying the land as one does. And I was like, who do I want to give $10,000 to? And it's something specific about that amount too, because as I was looking, I mean, the answer was nobody. Everybody there was like a Gen Z, and I like my men grown, right? But I was thinking and looking around, I was like, no, wouldn't give him $10,000. Wouldn't give him, I might give him like 5,000, but the full 10, no. Like, it's a game changer. So shout out to you, girl, because it really makes you think, like, do I really want this? Do I really want to go through the process of either getting or receiving this person's attention? Or is it just that, like, I'm bored and I'm just giving my number out, which I don't, right? And I don't think most women do. I don't think we just give out our number just to give it out. But my point is, there are some people that I may have given my number to that, like, I wouldn't have given them the full 10K. They were just a 5K-er, right? So I really love that idea. Shout out to her. If I find her again, I'll tag her. So again, the principle is when you are out somewhere, you are looking for someone to give $10,000 to. You're not looking for someone to give you $10,000, because that mindset of giving you $10,000 puts you in a place of like, oh, I need this thing, right? I need it. It puts you in a mode of like desperation, which I don't think I ever was, but like that gear shift of like, oh, I have money, I have something valuable to give. Who do I want to give this to? Who's going to steward this well? I just love the mindset that it put me in. So y'all use it. Shout out to her and let me know how it goes.
Stop it. Get some help.
Interesting analogy. Thinking of people as if they were imaginary monetary value. It's almost the same as when a wealthy man walks into a fancy restaurant and sees a bunch of women dressed extravagantly. That man might think, this one's going to cost me 10 grand. Or maybe we negotiate for less. At least that's how I see it. Since it's all part of the analogy of not acting out of neediness, right? Honestly, these women just keep trying to come up with excuses to cover up their singleness.
The main reason why I don't ask guys to do anything for me is because I want to see what he's willing to do on his own. If that man wants you, he's going to make some shit pop on his own. Like, he's literally going to make some shit pop on his own. He doesn't need to be coached, okay? Contrary to popular belief, he doesn't need to be coached. Because if he wants you, he's going to work for it. He's going to want to impress you naturally if he actually wants you. And that's what you need to understand. So you, instead of asking him to do all the things, just sit back, baby. What is he doing? If he ain't doing shit, then what the fuck are you hanging around for? He's not just going to magically wake up one day, take a pill, and then suddenly want to buy you flowers, take you shopping, take you on a trip. No. What he's showing you is what he's willing to give you.
She's partly right when she says that a man who's genuinely interested and has good intentions will try to court and win over the woman. But the problem starts when some women today confuse courting with international trips, insanely expensive flower arrangements, luxury restaurants just for Instagram photos, and demanding the infamous 666, 6 feet tall, six-figure income, and six-pack abs. In other words, the 666 from hell. Let's be real. That's a small minority of men who can actually afford all that. So it's no surprise they also have better options to choose from. If that level of effort is what's considered doing it for you because he cares, then they're aiming for a very narrow pool of candidates with a whole lot of competition.
Women.
Your future husband is not the guy who. Your future husband is not the guy who makes you feel like you have to compete for his attention. Your future husband is not the guy who takes you for granted and assumes you'll always be there without effort. Your future husband is not the guy who leaves you second guessing his feelings for you. Your future husband is not the guy who makes promises he doesn't keep. Your future husband is not the guy who disappears when you need him most. Your future husband is not the guy who makes you feel insecure and compare yourself to others. Your future husband is not the guy who avoids responsibility or makes excuses for his actions. Your future husband is not the guy who's trying to change you into someone that you're not. Your future husband is not the guy who competes with you or feels threatened by your success. Your future husband is not the guy who keeps you out of his future plans. Your future husband is not the guy who avoids difficult conversations or sweeps issues under the rug to keep the peace. Your future husband is not the guy who surrounds himself with distractions or keeps his options open. Your future husband is not the guy who's afraid of commitment or sees love as a burden. Your future husband is not the guy who holds grudges and punishes you for being vulnerable. Your future husband is not the guy who expects you to dim your light in order for him to shine. Lastly, your future husband is not the guy who makes you feel hard to love.
Brothers, do you know why narcissists are so successful with women? Because they don't lack character. If you try to become that kind of man, the one who bends over backwards, she'll most likely leave you for someone even more selfish and self-centered. Why? Because, according to her future husband shouldn't have a personality of his own. He's supposed to lick the ground she walks on. And you know who those men are? Simps. Men who are always crawling around, handing out their attention like it's free candy. A man who respects himself knows he has to put himself first. He cares for his lady, loves her, but she's a complement to his life purpose, not his whole life. If a woman tells me that a man must be completely selfless to be the perfect husband, then she's with the type of guy who rarely achieves anything in life. Because to reach the top, a man must have character. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about the advice women give each other these days? Would you go out with a woman who's dating 5 other guys at the same time? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.